I got off to a rough start, missing a couple putts in the first 2 holes, so once I got a couple of birdies, got back to even, I kind of settled in and found my game plan that I had built over the last week and just kept going from there. At the end of the round now, it feels like it could be a little better, but also I don't know if I'm going to have that hot stretch to the middle that I had every day. So as long as I'm keeping it clean and picking up the birdies that I know I can get, I think that's a pretty solid number.
I hadn't been doing that in practice, so I finally played it how I knew I could. I got a couple of good breaks, and so I was happy with being able to do that. 9 down on any day out here is fantastic. I'm trying to get into each day with a clean mindset though, and not compare rounds. You're not going to be at your best every day, and so you have to learn when to attack, when not to, and how to just manage the shots and make every shot more consistent in the future.
I guess I haven't processed it fully yet. It's pretty cool, first lead card. I've never done a lead card on a Pro Tour tournament, so it feels pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I'll hit it in later, I guess. I went for everything on those ones I knew I could get, but then played really conservative on a lot of the holes that are pretty tough for me. So clean that up tomorrow, then it should be looking pretty good again.
Started a little slow on the front, but then couldn't ask for much better on the back. I've grinded so hard on the last decade or more, and so the work's been done. You don't need to figure anything out. Odds are things will come back around and you'll start playing like yourself again. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if I shoot 10 the next 3 days, I will be shocked if I don't take the trophy. I think anywhere like 8 or higher, in my mind, is keeping pace with the leader, so happy with a 10 for sure.
Hello and welcome to Round 2 coverage from the 2023 United States Disc Golf Championship presented by Innova. As always, we're in Rock Hill, South Carolina on the beautiful campus of Winthrop University, and you're watching JomezPro with me, Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
You know, we were talking about each one of those players as the round one was developing. We're seeing the scores. Aside from Sullivan Tipton, that was the one name that we weren't really mentioning, and he just kind of shot a really good round, and Joel Freeman really came out hot with that 10 under. 10 under was the only player to shoot double digits round one. His back nine was 9 under through 8 holes on the back, and then he bogeyed 18, but still incredible round for him. And yeah, Sullivan Tipton, he said it, he's never been in this situation before, and even though it's only the second of 4 rounds, the nerves are still going to be there today. It is the USDGC. There are butterflies unlike any other course in the world stepping on hole 1. Kyle Klein, runner-up a couple years ago. His last 3 finishes here at the USDGC have all been in the top 10. He really likes this course. I think of Will Schustrick, the way that he plays this course, very similar style. And Robert Burridge, a player who's just really broken out this season. We were calling his name a lot early on the front 9. He was just putting together an incredible round. Can he continue that magic today? We'll see.
Well, he's going to have to start off on hole 1. It's a little par 3, double Mando. Clear this little
Log, perhaps?
All right, we'll call it a log. I don't know what we call these things after yesterday,
Oh,
but
boy.
we'll call it a log.
It's always been a log.
Joel going to go to the backhand here. Got the low ceiling, the high floor, the Mandos. This needs speed.
It's a little too low, I fear. Oh, catches the top of that log.
And that's farther than I think the camera makes it look. I would say that's every bit of 65 feet.
Back edge of
Yes.
C2, if not outside of C2. Sullivan, we're going to see a lot of this today. He is a forehand predominant player, and look at the touch there as he kind of gives that nose up in that late turn.
Very close to being
Oh,
very
wow.
good.
How understable was that disc?
Sullivan has a huge forehand. We're going to get to see it today. He is one of the most powerful forehand throwers on the tour.
Big distance, but also great touch.
Absolutely.
It's a rare combination.
And this guy just kind of has this shot dialed. It's a little help, but I feel like even if
was
it
fine.
misses that, he's 25 feet deep, maybe in the hole.
Yeah, could be ace.
Be pretty incredible for 4 consecutive top 10 finishes if Kyle's able to keep up the great play this week.
If Robert were to
that's
finish off super strong
What
like
a
he's
shot.
doing right here, there's going to be a lot of people with that towel bringing it back.
Yeah, the
from
belt towel.
Yeah, the belt towel.
I haven't seen it in a minute.
Yeah.
Glad it's back.
Back in the day.
Oh.
Great
Wow.
effort. Kind of see a little bit of that slope in play there as Sully comes up just a little bit left and short.
A little left on that one as well. That's not as close as you would like.
Yes. And cleans it up.
Beautiful looking stroke right there.
That right there can kind of show you maybe how he feels about the nerves. I'm sure he's certainly really relishing this opportunity here, but definitely clean that putt up without any hesitation. And Kyle will clean up the birdie. What a feeling that must be for Robert. His first league card at the USDGC, and his drive hits the pole, tap in birdie.
Hole 1 is just such a good get. It's so frustrating to miss. It's such a nervy little shot. When you pick it up easy like that, I just think it does such great things for your confidence, for your just the relaxation you can feel on that second tee once you're walking away with a birdie.
Starting out the course under par before you take that first bogey, it just feels so good out here. It feels like you're getting ahead of it. And there's bogeys to be had all throughout the course. But yeah, like you're saying, birdie on 1. If you get any of these first 4 holes,
Yes.
I feel like that's a bonus,
Yes.
aside from 1.
This is a bonus. Hole 2
Yes.
plays very far uphill, especially with the low ceiling, unless you take the left gap. And then it becomes very technical because you're going to be taking on a pin that has out of bounds everywhere.
Kyle hits second available, we'll call it, and kicks directly left. I think he avoids going too far left, though, and there is
Wow.
out of bounds over there.
I would call that fortunate. Making contact with that while the disc still has a ton of speed. Good thing that it stayed in bounds. He'll have an opportunity to play a pretty tough shot and maybe save it.
Low. Yeah, as far left as that kicked, he needs to really, we'll see what his footing's like, but if he doesn't have good footing, you can go ahead and call it a bogey.
This has got potential. Needs to start hyzering soon. Oh,
And
does it kick out of the OB?
Great
Fantastic.
break. Hit that fence hard enough, and you can ricochet back into birdie position, and that's what Joel's done here.
This has the look of a layup play, and it's not a good one.
So it hits that tree, hits the house, ramps off the top of the shingles on the other side of the house. So he's actually in decent par position, whereas Kyle most certainly is not. He still has to navigate the mandatory. This is just a play to get the bogey. Gonna have to, well, you know what?
Yeah, 70.
Yeah, he's inside range, but that's really about as good as you can do from back there.
Wow, yeah, Sully got to kind of a nice spot considering, and now he's great. Wow.
Pretty fairly turn your brain off type of forehand drive there for Sullivan. Just trying to get himself the easy par. Certainly missed his line and kind of got away with it.
I think you might be thinking he can get to about 60. Sure.
Yeah, if you're willing to kind of test that mandatory.
Yeah. Otherwise, why would he be pulling it? You know,
Yes.
that's such a,
Yep.
like you said, Jerm, kind of a brainless shot right there. Can Joel?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
money.
That was really good.
And it's bid for birdie on hole 1 from a little bit longer than that. Came up just short, makes the adjustment, and now he is 1 under. A couple pars to start for Sully. Kyle will even out the round with a bogey here on 2.
He's now 3 over on hole 2 for the tournament.
That's right. That was his one blemish in round 1.
Wow.
Not surprising though. I mean, that is just a super tough hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the hardest ones. 5th hardest, still only 3.05. A lot of these holes, the OB is what gets those holes the big high scoring average, but we're not seeing too many really bite people. Like last round, hole 17 was the 9th hardest hole. Hole 17 is always top 3.
Interesting.
So the players are getting better, figuring out how to avoid the big numbers.
I just saw Bradley Williams 6 under through 7. That is a nice start.
Woof.
I'm guessing this is the one he parred because this one is no small feat. 841 feet. Almost impossible to reach an area where you can get to the pin on your second shot without some kind of trick roller. This is ambitious. Big height, big hyzer.
He's got the power, though. Joel Freeman not lacking in distance.
Not at all. But I still don't think that is a place you can really reliably attack from. We'll see if he goes to the backhand roller. That'd be the aggressive play from that spot.
I think its sidearm's so good that you can put a lot of hyzer on it, and if you catch the ground play just right, you can put it to the mouth, which is about 40, 45 feet.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
A little more conservative here for Sully, just trying to low drive hyzer. And that is, aside from a throw-in after an A-plus shot, that is just in par territory. See how aggressive Kyle gets. That's the line to try to get yourself into position. The high, maybe even slightly flipping up driver, trying to be tight on that inside line. That's a pretty good shot. Still is going to take a monumental effort to get up and give himself a birdie look.
Here comes that roller. This is going to need to twist quickly.
Looks pretty good.
It does. Oh, boy.
Oh,
wow. Under
watch
a bike.
out, biker.
That was pretty nifty stuff from our cyclist.
That wasn't just your normal street bike. That was a full-on mountain bike.
That looked heavy.
That was a heavy bike.
E-bike.
Oh, no. And I think Sully is kicked right.
That's
Dead to rights.
really bad.
Yeah.
So hard to get around that mandatory.
And you know that
What
drop.
is this?
Oh, the thumber roller.
Thumber roller.
Joel's one of the best at this.
I haven't seen many players use this in their arsenal, but Joel, like you said, pretty
Yeah,
decent.
this needs to stop. And it's going to. Going to get away with it. He definitely meant for that to flip to the right. Didn't get the flip, but he'll be fine from there.
I think the forehand roller, the cut roller with the overstable disc, is the best choice to try to get, if you're getting aggressive.
Yeah, it's riskier.
It's riskier because if you stand up, you're likely to go out of bounds long, but it's the best way to actually create that hook to get back towards the pin.
Oh my gosh, Sully got rocked by that tree kick.
And he's going to have to throw the flick roller to try to do that, and it's just going to burn out.
Well, the other thing about the flick roller, you have to cut it really tight against that tree. And what happens is if it then doesn't flip up at all, this is a nice little upshot.
Yeah, it's very touchy.
If it doesn't flip up at all, it can go around and miss the Mando again with the
Oh,
rules.
right. Yeah, sure.
I like the height.
And certainly not a hole that, oh boy, Sully's going to be edge of circle.
Good rollout.
Yep. Edge of circle for the bogey, though. This is not a birdie you need to get by any means, so no need to get hyper aggressive, especially this early in the round.
Opportunity for a highlight birdie from Robert, but probably 80-footer. Gonna just lay that up. And can we see one? No. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
This is like a sneakily slopey green. It can get away from you here.
Great bogey save there. You can manage the bogeys. Just got to avoid the double bogeys out here at Winthrop. And they seem to happen so fast. Everything's going the way you meant it to go, and then you play a hole that you played great in practice, and it just something goes wrong, and you're like, what the heck? How did a triple bogey just happen here? Always got to be so sharp out here. Obviously, the hardest hole in the course for scoring average and the least birdied hole. 4 players were able to do that. Simon, Eagle, Nestori Tukkanen, and Luke Callahan, my former caddy, who qualified on Monday with the top score at a 5 under.
Nice.
You may know him as the Disc Golf Kid on YouTube.
I want to be known for winning a lot of tournaments. You know, hopefully I get to a point where I can be dominant in an era with so many people coming up in the game. So hard to stay consistent at the top. That's kind of my goal, is to set the new standard for this generation.
Looking at hole 4, par 3, 299. Narrow, up the middle, straight away. Really the best option if you can do it. Try to get through at all costs. You really want to avoid that right finish late. It's just pretty pinched over there if you do end up taking a bad kick or swinging hard right at the end of the shot.
Joel going with a little hyzer flip. Too much handling,
Oh, so close, though. It's an ambitious shot to go down the middle. What were the wind conditions out there like today?
Pretty calm, I would say. Pretty favorable.
A breeze, pretty much.
When you have a headwind,
Just a breeze.
there's just, I wonder what his play, oh, wow. So close. That's how you see this hole played most of the time, is somebody is very close to hitting the line with a flip up and then just hitting the edge. But I'm interested to see what Joel might do when there's wind on this hole. I mean, how does that change people's game plan going into this? The flip up play doesn't work anymore.
Kyle just kind of found a way to get up to like 45 feet. It didn't look like he hit any kind of gap. It just snuck out of the fairway and kept on flying.
And there's Sully with that
Oh,
late
wow.
flip and a
Don't go too far right.
absolute beaut.
Wow, that is a technical shot.
Keeps it tight, keeps it low, swoops up instead of hammers down. It's a good learning lesson for all you wannabe forehand throwers. If you chop down, you're going to hurt your elbow over time.
Thumb roller count 2.
That one worked out a little better.
Kyle to get under par.
Off the tree,
Count it.
in.
What a nice putt right there. 50
Smooth.
footer maybe.
That's just backyard putting practice.
Oh, man. Got a little funny on the backside. He didn't deserve that, but it stays in.
Now Sully from 25 and awkward angle perhaps, drawing air. That's an unfortunate effort with such a great drive.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I actually thought his drive was closer. Looked like about 15 feet to me. Maybe just a tough place to swing with his back getting poked by all those sticks on the right side.
That was an opportunity for his first birdie here on the lead group and unable to capitalize.
Typical start, though. Pars, you see a lot of people over par after the first 4.
Yes.
Even par is, I would say,
fine.
a little worse than average.
For
Just a little bit.
contenders,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Even though hole 5 can be treacherous, this is really the start of where some birdies start to come into play. And it's a great hole for that to start happening, because it's just, like we were talking about yesterday, it's just absolutely iconic.
Looking at hole 5, 1,025 feet. Road on the right, water on the left. Late mandatory, this big bamboo pole that forces you over the water, usually on your third shot. And this new pin position, just so far over to the left. Really difficult to attack, as you're just about 15 feet from the water when you're standing there by the basket.
Nice little zinger there from Kyle. This is going to be in a good position, probably middle fairway.
Yeah, great slow feet, just a nice quick swing. See how these compare. These are a lot of really big forehand throwers.
The farther left you get, I feel like the better, typically, because a lot of players are trying to throw that hyzer out over the right side. Farther left you get, the easier that becomes, the more ground you can cover without having to go over that road.
Roller play for Robert. That's a highly aggressive play. Well, maybe not.
Too flippy.
Yeah.
So he didn't really get much forward carry. I don't think he'll be happy with that. See how much Sully sends this. He might be the biggest thrower of the bunch.
Didn't look like much, but
Yeah,
it
but
is,
oh my gosh,
it
that is
carrying.
Yeah, just cruising it without the flat angle. I mean, Kyle's had much more flat glide. That all hyzer just sails over top of him.
Robert with a short roller having to go over the road on your second shot. A very tricky play because you have to get the height just right. Even though those trees aren't that tall, those Creighton myrtles, they catch a lot of discs, and if you go over too high, you find yourself in the lake, and you feel like that fairway's wide enough to prevent that, but that's just the way this hole plays. And just like that, Creighton myrtle catches it, and now Joel's going to be in an awkward position. Big time decision to make.
Yeah, that branch might dictate what he does and what he doesn't do on this second shot. I've been there before and know that branch.
Yeah.
It kind of forces you really low, and you want height in order to drift something from left to right.
Ooh, this is super aggressive. Starting to swing.
Stable.
I like that out of his hand.
Really?
Maybe it's a fairway.
I think he's got a raptor in his hand or something that's very overstable, but I like the play where you start the disc going towards the edge of the water with an overstable disc. No chance it can do anything besides hyzer back in.
Pretty nice jump putt there from Joel. Doesn't catch metal.
This is kind of a long carry.
And it's looking good.
Yeah, it actually is looking really good.
Wow.
Wow.
Sit.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Bullseye for Robert Burridge. Let's call it 400 feet.
I was going to say right there, 400.
Well, it's a little farther than that, actually. It's from right there, it's about 380 to clear middle, 360 to clear on the tough side over there, or on the short side over there on the right, and it's about 420 to the pin.
Wow, what a shot.
These numbers brought to you by Brad Hammock.
Yes. Very true.
Kyle Klein also into the bullseye.
Maybe it's not as hard to attack as I thought.
Well,
These are fantastic.
I think the backhand opens up that play.
You're right about that.
It does, and you can be aggressive, because the one thing you don't want is to be short. If you're short, it's bad. What you want to do is miss to where if you go a little too far, even in the lake, you got to tap in par.
Yes.
Which is just fine.
Now, what about that kind of short miss? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine as well. But that's a very conservative play. He's got a chance to make it from there, and he's guaranteed the par.
Oh, no, he had to lay up, Joel.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying
this
typically,
putt,
like,
yes,
from
yes,
that position.
yes,
right.
Like, if this was for birdie.
Joel for the par off right side. Good weight behind that putt. I think even if he airballs that, he still doesn't go in the water. But regardless, it's going to be a bogey. Sully, meanwhile, chance to get his first birdie and count it right on the pole. This hole really sets up so well for a player like Sullivan. He just able to go really safe forehand 3 shots in a row, hyzering away from the water.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity for him to pick up some much needed strokes on a hole that's averaging just below 5.
Wow, it averages below 5.
Yeah, 497, and that's because it's calm, folks.
Yep.
When this hole's got any wind, it doesn't even have to be gusty. If it's just got some breeze out there where it's making you think twice about attacking this super tight pin location next to the water, that is going to be a 515, if not much higher. Look at Chris Clemens. 10 under through 17, all the way up into first place currently. What a round for him.
Hole 6, par 3, 371. You see the beach over there on the left. There is out of bounds by these rocks over here on the right as well. Just want to throw an overstable disc that you get the weight right and skips right onto that beach. If you miss, you do go to a pretty tough drop zone looking right at the water from about 45 to 50 feet.
And that drop zone is so close that if you airball left or right and you had enough height to go in, there's no pace that keeps that from going at OB long again.
Oh, good tree.
What a
Good
break.
yeah.
Saved from certain out of bounds. Oh, interesting play here.
I respect it. And you got to pick and choose your spots at Winthrop, and I think that playing to your game plan can provide confidence. Taking a big number out of play.
Sure.
I agree with you. I think also, though,
This looks
this
pretty
needs to
good.
go.
Gotta go.
Oh, so close.
I was just going to say his last shot over the water was pretty much this shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has it
sure.
there.
Yeah. Joel does love a flex, but I think this must be overcooked.
No,
it's
that's
fine.
That's just grade A Joel Freeman
He
right
didn't
there is
like
what that
it, did
is.
he?
No, well, yes, of course he did, because he acted like he didn't like it. That's how you know he likes it. Joel, very animated. Post-shot, he is usually saying something or doing some sort of song and dance.
Hopefully we get a song. That'd be great. What a robbery this would be if he could find himself a way to make birdie. Wow.
A robbery, huh?
I mean, stealing from the hole, right? You know,
okay.
like you're like, I don't know.
And Sully off the front cage. A good effort.
Robbery's not really the right word, but what an incredible.
Stealing some from
He
the
would steal
field
something
for
from
sure.
the course.
Yes.
You know, if you hit that tree, stay in bounds, and then somehow ring it up.
What a great injustice this would be if he was
From
if
the
he were
perspective,
able.
I'm anthropomorphizing the course. I'm saying from the perspective of the course.
Just
How
because
angry
you
would
drop
it be?
a big old word on us doesn't make
It
what you
gets
said
me out of
any
it.
better.
It always gets me out of it.
A birdie for Joel and a cleanup par for Kyle. And I follow you all the way, buddy. Probably a good thing that Kyle didn't get away with that and get a birdie, because the course, she knows how to fight back.
Yes.
And you don't want to start taking things that aren't yours. Look how many players are at 11 under par right now. Wow.
Hole 7, par 3, 284. Triple mandatory straight ahead of you. Any shot you want to take here that goes straight, you should go ahead and do it. Forehand, backhand, whatever you like. Not a long hole, but it puts pressure on the players.
Joel going quick with the forehand, trying to shape that one straight, and that'll do. He's going to be right at the edge of the circle at the entrance of the gates. Kyle didn't quite commit to that one. That's just going to be blocked by the left side wall. Robert trying to shape this one. It's looking so close.
Oh, man.
Really good effort. Just needed a little bit more spin on it, perhaps.
Sully going to try the forehand. This same overstable disc we saw him use a couple holes ago. A little bit of flex action. Just needs to hurry up back to the right.
That looks
Great now.
That looks good. That looks good.
No
Yes!
way. What a shot. How do you skip ace forehand that hole? It has to be the flex. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Ever seen that ever. Unbelievable. I've never seen one come close to acing.
Look how close he comes to getting the corner. He just barely misses the corner.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
That's
What
just,
a moment.
I love it for him. I saw him before my round, and he was like so excited to be on the lead card, and I was just saying, hey man, enjoy it. He said, yeah, I'm just so pumped. I'm so pumped. So just so cool that he can have a memory like this from today.
Wow, that's puts him back in the under par category now.
That's a good way to erase a bogey or steal one.
Unforgettable memory. I mean, think about this. Right now, Sully just did something he will never, ever forget for the rest of his life. That is a pretty special moment we all just got to witness. First ever lead card at any Pro Tour major, anything. Acing the absolutely epic bamboo hole. And Joel high off the top.
Getting two on everybody on the
Yeah,
lead card.
pars for the rest of the group. Gets himself right back there in the conversation.
I don't think I remember that little ace triple dot thing that Sullivan's got.
Yeah,
it's rare to see.
When was the last? We've seen the ace somewhat recent. Yeah,
Probably. Don't put me on the spot.
I can't remember right now, but I'm sure we've seen some.
Well, we got a little chase card check-in with Andrew Marweed over there.
Yeah,
MPO.
true.
You know, I think it might go back to Adam Hammis at Waco.
Okay.
It's been a minute.
Hole 8, par 4, 697 feet. You'd want to land right about here with your drive, however you choose to get there. Backhand hyzer, forehand hyzer, the most common plays. And then this is a tricky second because the pin is just pretty well guarded and way, way to the right with the low ceiling. So you see backhand roller and you see power forehand looking for the big skip on the second shot.
Gotta say, I'm so happy. As tough as this hole is to reach into, that they got rid of those silly mozzarella sticks on this hole.
I'm with you.
I don't mind them as a barrier in some places.
But
just
this green has a lot of barriers already.
It already has so many natural barriers. It doesn't need anything artificial. Sully,
nice shot from Sully.
Yeah, finds himself in the perfect landing zone. Joel's
Jumping
catching a little bit of that stump. That's the one that came down since the last time we were out here. Kyle says, why not?
I think I like this play the best. Out wide sidearm kind of takes all the OB out of play unless you were to roll your wrist and turn it way over to the left.
Even that it's hard to do.
Yes.
And you don't need the extra distance, really, as Robert goes really nicely placed backhand drive, and all four players are essentially in the same money zone right there. It's not about distance on this next shot. It's just about putting yourself in position, and our lead group has done that so far.
Does it get around or through? And that's a no.
Yep, it's 2 no's. Not around or through.
Kyle looking to throw a pretty similar shot that he just did off the tee.
This is
Little
too early.
Too tight.
No, it
No,
sneaks.
it's okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just outside the circle. Not what you want. You'd rather push it a little bit lower and more left. But he's fortunate to beat those trees.
Yes. I think you put everybody in the tournament and you say, you're guaranteed this spot for the rest of your life.
Take it.
And we're all taking it.
And Joel way inside, and so inside that it actually works.
I'll take that one.
Wow, what a result.
That's not the way you would usually attack here, but it's working today.
That was a big-time misfire on the inside.
See if this one is a little bit... Yeah, this is more like it. Outside, catch the chips, late skip.
Big
over the
skip.
bush, in the hole.
Oh, come on now.
Roll away.
Unlucky.
Yeah, so one of these things, inside gets lucky. One of them's absolutely perfect, rolls away.
This is a tricky little upshot right here.
But aside from Robert here, our whole lead card will be putting for birdie.
That's good touch. I was in a similar spot, and I'm like, I don't want to juice it. I don't want to roll away. And then I just left it where Kyle is.
Well, think what we saw from Gannon yesterday.
Another good
From that
putt.
exact spot.
That's right.
Great putt from Kyle again.
And Robert made that great correction, goes understable putter and lands safe. Can he back up the ace with just heart.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even have a chance to get that out of my mouth before he just drilled that dead center.
That hit just about as hard as the ace did.
Great confident putt. And Joel, after the approach, is that far away, and he's got himself a birdie and
3 birdies on this one. That's nice.
Kyle's made a couple good deep putts so far, and looking pretty good out there. The whole lead card's looking pretty good.
Kyle's catching some nice breaks. A nice one on 4 where he makes the long putt. A nice one here where he makes the long putt. He almost stole a couple away on 6.
Yep.
I feel like if you're playing really well, I mean, we saw Brad Williams go through the front 9 scorching hot. I think this is the front 9 that you're looking, if you really want to go to the back 9 with some comfort, I think 6 down is a fantastic score that's very doable.
Yeah. I would take 6 down on any old 9 you ever show me. That's really nice.
Here's a stock hyzer for you. Can you get the weight right? And then there's a low sidearm over here on the left.
Missed that rock.
Jump him? Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
need to jump him.
Sit.
Woo. Ooh, just comes up short of the OB.
Great.
Good illustration of how close that out of bounds is, right behind the basket.
Here's the hyzer I was talking about. Stall hyzer. Does it have enough? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot.
Ooh, this is leaking left.
Yeah, it needs to not catch the skip.
Don't skip. Oh, big skip. Slow down.
Maybe.
I think he's straddling the line.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a green flag. Kyle has just barely hung on there.
I wonder how much ceiling he'll have to work with.
Oh, no.
Does this have enough distance?
The most power.
It's more spiky.
Wow.
And
taking the long way.
All right, there we go.
Taking the long way. Yeah, I'm worried he doesn't have much of a play here to go through the basket. But we'll see. Goes over. No way!
Kyle Klein.
Through the branches?
His putt looks amazing right now.
Me?
Going trick putt.
That was incredible.
Yes. How
Look at his
often do
face.
you
He's
see-
like, wow. Did I just do that?
I mean, when you're hot, you're
man.
hot. But absolutely. I mean, he's like just hair's breadth away from being 4 or 5 strokes different score than he has now.
Yeah.
But he's taking advantage of his opportunities.
And a good putt there for Robert. Taking advantage of his great break as well. And Joel and Sully are just going to tap in their birdies, and we're going to get a star frame here on the last hole in the front.
I played with Sully at the Idlewild, and we celebrated throwing our first backhand on hole 16 together. So he's very similar to me in his shot choices, except he throws them farther.
What's hole 9 coming in? Is it the easiest yet?
Second easiest.
Always second.
And 10 is going to be the easiest. It's
Always,
just 17 and 18, or 9 and 10 are 17 and 18 respectively. But yeah, well, a good highlight there on the final 9 or final hole, the front 9, as our whole group gets the birdie. Kyle Klein making some really good putts.
Yeah, Chris Clemens coming in with that nice 11. That's the score these guys are chasing, and it's out there. So if you can get to that double digit and you're anywhere in like the top 20, that's going to jolt you up that leaderboard. It's still the number to get.
I just saw James Conrad scroll by 7 under through 11.
Oof.
Some really nice scores coming together, as you would expect. It's the USDGC after all, and we've got a ton of great players out there on the course. Everybody trying to fight their way towards that lead card, whatever they can do.
Hey, man, however this back 9 goes for Sully, he just went ace and then backed it up, birdie, starting to get things going to the back 9. That's something, like I said before, unforgettable stuff for him. Let's see how he backs it up here with 9 more to go in round 2.